Hello. My name is Cameron, and I am a 20-year-old transgender male who lives in Calgary, Alberta. Today I wanted to make a video talking about my transition thus far. I am pre-testosterone at the moment. My journey started when I was 13, 14, actively thinking about transitioning being an option for me. Originally, when I was younger, it wasn't even a thought that crossed my mind as something that could be, that could happen, really. I grew up in a Christian household, so just the preconceived set of morals and beliefs that I had as a child definitely wasn't LGBT friendly in any way, shape, or form. There was open trans and homophobia that I was met with, and while it didn't bother me on an outward level, like I never let anybody know that it bothered me, and I wasn't even sure why it bothered me so much, to hear that kind of stuff. I mean, aside from not agreeing with what my family was saying, stuff I didn't agree with, things like, gay people can't get married, or they're all gonna go to hell because they made the wrong decision, and so that just sort of set me up for a very not even slightly helpful teenage years. The first time I started thinking about it as a legitimate option was when I was about 13, and I stumbled across videos on YouTube, and I did some research, and I started reading that you can actually start hormones, and that it is a legitimate thing, that people change their gender, and not necessarily change their gender, but that the options are there to make you more comfortable, and that it's okay to admit to being transgender. So at the beginning of this year in January, so January 2014, I guess more so February 2014, I finally made the appointment with my family doctor to talk about my options. I do live on my own now, and I have been working full-time, so I'm in more of a stable place where I can actually start taking my transition forward on a much bigger scale than it had been before. I've been out for about 2.5 years. I came out officially just after I graduated from high school. I regret not coming out earlier, but I don't think it would have happened unless certain conditions had been met in my environment, in my home life. So there's no use regretting the past. I'm sorry, I wrote it all down because I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. So I just had my first therapy appointment on the 23rd of October. As well as on that day, I was also referred to the endocrinologist. An endocrinologist is the person who determines what dose of testosterone or estrogen you will be given. And I was originally prepping myself to have to wait even longer, because I had already had to wait since January just to have the first physical in-person appointment. Mind you, for free. It is covered by the the Albertan government. I live in Alberta. So right now I'm utilizing a lot of free therapy and otherwise similar resources through my city and province. So I had my first appointment on the 23rd of October, and on that same day my doctor referred me to the endocrinologist, and I was prepping myself thinking I would have to wait until about March to actually see the endocrinologist and start hormones. But I actually got a letter in the mail about 2 days ago that says that I am able to start hormones on the 5th, which is sort of what triggered me to make this video, because up until now it's sort of just been a hurry up and wait kind of situation, which has been a little bit disheartening and tiring, waiting for things to happen. So I'm not sure what kind of method of testosterone I will be starting. I'm not sure if I'm going to be given injection, or if I'm going to be taking pills, if I'm going to use the gel. I honestly have no idea. Those are things that I'll be finding out on the 5th of January, I assume. And also one more thing I wanted to cover, just because I don't have a lot to talk about in terms of transitioning, because mentally I've sort of been the same for a few years. I'm becoming more comfortable with being out in public. I'm out on my Facebook. I'm out to all of my family, which has been some mixed responses. But one last question I wanted to go over was, how did you know you were trans? Which is something I get asked a lot. How did I know I was trans? Well, my body felt wrong. I mean, pre-puberty, I didn't really care. And as I said, the process of knowing that I was trans was very difficult given my religious upbringing and the Christian environment I was raised in. I went to Christian school as well. So being gay wasn't heard of, and being transgender wasn't even a thing that existed. So I didn't. For a long time, I just assumed I was really unhappy with my body and that I didn't have any self-confidence, and I thought I was like every other, teenage girl when I was that age, and I honestly, it took me quite a while to be able to admit it to myself, that is who I am, and to get over the sort of ingrained feeling that I'm wrong about myself, and that God makes no mistakes, but clearly he did in this case, and I don't even see it as a mistake. I'm not a religious person whatsoever, but just previously that made it very hard for me to accept my true identity and start making changes to make myself happier. So that's really the only thing I have for an update right now, is that I am currently still hurrying up and waiting, but having a set date is very, very comforting, and having a therapist to talk to is very, very helpful. Incredibly helpful. That is really it. I plan on making a few other videos throughout the next year or 2 or 3. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be making videos, but I plan on putting up a few videos as well. This will mostly just be the process of my transition, physical changes that I notice, especially alongside with mental changes and mood changes, just sort of as a resource for other transgendered individuals, and not even just transgender individuals, just for anyone who is curious about the process or has questions, or a family member trying to learn more in order to support another person that they know in their life. I just hope that my channel will help some people hear my story. And that is everything. Goodbye.